somebody's already in the chat. Google Post. Let me know when you start because I don't hear nothing. Oh, you actually did. All the press is ooh. They're exposing themselves. They never had it, but now they're exposing it for the world to see. Anybody who doesn't, act or believe that, that there's bias in the press, right? It's been blatant lately, bro. 10 years ago, like 10 years ago, no, like before the last generation had started, like at the very end of the 360 generation, right? Like within that generation, if any of these outlets were acting the way they were now back then, they'd be instantly canceled. And I mean real canceled, like real gamers wouldn't follow those sites anymore, which is slowly starting to happen when you talk about their tweets and stuff and how many views they're getting versus how many likes, right? They're still getting ratioed. Ridiculous, right? People just ain't trying to hear their lies anymore, but it's so blatant obvious. And I'll be one of the things we talk about later. I just found some evidence that we could use to show on the screen when we talk about that. But I mean, dude, the press. Forget the ponies. At least we've been talking about that. We know how depraved they get, but now the press is in on it in a blatant, obvious manner. It's like you can't.
They think it's gonna make things all better. It's like, well, we're gonna make be all blatant about it all now because they're gonna change their ways afterwards. Dude, you're not intimidating anybody. Mm-hmm. They're just making themselves look stupid, along with their stupid fans as well.
Yeah, and on top of that, like ever since this Activision thing began, I always said, it's all about the receipts for me, all the evidence of stuff we already knew was true, right? And this is something completely different. But the bias in a lot of these individuals in the press and whole outlets, really, right? And we'll talk about that later on. I guess we may as well get into that in a little bit. But
just get on it, man. This is what we're talking about this today, at least, is all Starfield crap, anything that's related to it. All the people losing their minds, people putting their videos out, everybody putting their articles out about how they, PlayStation has dodged a bullet with Starfield. Maybe it's not a good game, and without even playing it, it's just stupid. It's stupid. It's just dumb.
Yeah, but one of the crazy things was Stephen Totillo, who doesn't work at Kotaku anymore, hasn't for a while.
Yeah,
right. I forget where he works now, but I think he works for one of these outlets. One of the ones I sent you the link about. If you could put that on the screen, I think he works for ReadPop now, one of the websites for ReadPop. I forget which one, and I could be wrong about that. But ReadPop owns Nintendo Life, Digital Foundry, and Eurogamer, and Push Square, VGC, VG 24/7, You know,
yeah, Christopher Dring, head of GameIndustries.biz, words featured in the VGC. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Or G? I think I see it crossed out. The Observer, Doctor Who magazine, and on the BBC. I'm sure he's on the BBC.
Yeah. So, yeah, just like, you know, Paul Tassie's really a member of Forbes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You're just a guest. You're not really a Forbes man. You're just a guest, dude. But,
yeah.
you know, like you know, all these outlets are crying, complaining that they didn't get any preview codes for Starfield, right?
When they get a preview code, is it a preview of the game? Like, is it a portion or is it the whole thing?
It's the whole thing. They just get early like, you know, how we're getting early access on Thursday. Yeah. Well, this is they get. We've heard about certain people who have confirmed they have access, like Digital Foundry and Paris. You know, folks like that. We know certain people have access. You know, the Iron Lords do. You know, certain people we know have access, have played the game.
Yeah.
Paris claimed this morning he beat the game, right? Or at least he finished the main plot line. I don't know how much other stuff he did, but he put a lot of hours. So, you know, like, you know, some people are claiming they've beaten the game now. Some of these outlets who says they've gotten access, they've beaten the game.
Hell, but how long have they had the code for then? If it's
like about a week or so. It was about last week when they were announcing that they had access.
Jesus, man, I was like, they just rushed right through it then, huh?
Like right after it went gold. I think that day or the next day, like, you know, some of these outlets were saying they got access to the game and whatnot.
But that's not even fair to the game itself, because what if it's riddled with some sort of bugs or some kind of issues with it?
Well, that's always been the way it happens with review codes, right? Like, because you'll see the review the day the game comes out.
Right.
How is that possible? Well, of course, they got access to the game. Now, in terms of multiplayer and stuff like that, it's never a good for multiplayer. So a lot of these reviews now, and it's not even new. They've been doing this for years now.
Yeah.
Like the multiplayer aspect of the review will be held for later, because even though they could try out the multiplayer, you know, there's hardly anybody there. It's only those few people who might have gotten, you know, the game early from some, you know, local shop who decide to sell it. You know, that's often in Brooklyn. At least in New York, I know they do that quite often. But I hear from other people all across, at least the U.S., you know, certain people know to go to certain, you know, mom and pop shops, get the game early. And so it will only be those few people who get to play the game, and the servers will be great because they're not really being hammered, right? You'll have developers maybe. Like I remember Modern Warfare 1. I had that a week early, right? I was playing that a week early. The servers were great. They got way worse the day of launch, but they were still great, you know, playable.
Right.
But back then, it was a lot of the game developers were on there, right? Because it would have IW, you know, Infinity Ward in front of their names and stuff like that. And some other people who just had the game early. I saw some, you know, some people I knew who were in the industry at the time. You know, folks that I knew from NeoGAF who, like there was this one guy, Kay Lee, from Game Fan magazine. If you used to read that back in the 90s, early 2000s, he used to be on NeoGAF a lot. I remember seeing him playing Modern Warfare. You know, a lot of dudes like that. But anyway, to say, you know, so it's a thing that happens, right? Like, they get access. This is what they do. So, there's really. I hope Xbox continues to give these trash sites the Heisman Trophy of sucking ass. I don't know about that, bro. But yeah. So a lot of these guys who didn't get access are sitting there complaining. And we'll talk about Reforged, for example, how now that he hasn't gotten it, he's gone from being jealous he doesn't have it to now talking crap about it and, you know, saying PlayStation.
Do you want to hear it? Oh, I don't know if you can hear it. Damn it.
No, I won't be able to hear it, but everybody else, you know, who's watching the show should hear it. So play it and then just let me know when you're done playing.
Did Sony dodge another bullet? It happened with Redfall. That thing might have ended up on PlayStation. If PlayStation wouldn't have canned the thing, they might have taken a look at it and said, no way, especially if Bungie got a look at it. Bungie, you know, basically delayed Factions 2 by saying this thing's not built to last. Redfall was barely built to run. Given everything we're...
So he's knocking Redfall and saying that Sony may have dodged a bullet with Starfield. And he's saying that they did with Redfall, because that barely ran when it was out, or when it's out. So now he, you know, the first few videos of last week or so, you know, he's talking about how he didn't get a code you know, he was wondering,
Yeah, we were talking about this last
why
week.
didn't I get a code? I got 30,000 followers or subscribers, and his buddy Mike, who's like has 1,400, was able to get one, and you could just tell the jelly in him just shaking, right?
Oh yeah.
And then the second one, he came out the reaction saying, I'm not jealous, and I'm not, you know, I wasn't expecting one. It's like, if you weren't, you wouldn't be talking about not getting one, right? And so now he's saying that, you know, that PlayStation may have dodged a bullet with Starfield because it's going to be terrible at some point.
Seeing and hearing, I don't really see Sony taking it in.
Like I said, a lot of these outlets are starting to talk somewhat like that now.
Yeah.
Right? They're starting to trash Starfield in their articles. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them were already doing some low-key stuff, but now that they don't have codes, now all of a sudden you notice, you know, a couple of them are really
Hell,
out there.
there was one site's already talking about the DLC, and we haven't got the main game yet.
Like, what the hell? You know?
They're already talking about the DLC being a concern when the main game hasn't even come out yet.
Wasn't that the same site though?
Probably.
Game Industry Biz or something like that?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was. And this is why, you know, I asked a tech here to put up that picture, because it's all a part of Repop. A lot of these sites, right? You know,
let's
see.
see.
Found the Eurogame, all of that, and they're all the ones. If you follow on Twitter, you know their rhetoric. It's the type of crap they talk all the time, right?
Yeah.
But Digital Foundry got it because everybody knows, right, what they do. And this time, the eye is on Digital Foundry. They can't say a lot of crap because as much as this is under Xbox and Microsoft, and they can give a lot of crap to it, right? There's a limit they can go, because remember, they were the ones that Microsoft went to reveal the One X, right? You know, it was them who got to go, amongst others, to go see the Series X and got an early one, right? From Microsoft, things like that. So they're around, they're doing their thing. They're the only ones who really go in the nitty gritty tech-wise, you know, like, you know, on PC review sites are known to do.
Yeah.
On consoles, it's really just Digital Foundry. And we know they're up to no good usually too, but at the same time, the eye is on them. They know they can't do their typical crap where they try to low-key or try to shade a Xbox game. This is not just an Xbox game. This isn't just a Bethesda game or a Microsoft game.
Yeah.
This is Starfield. This is the one. This is Todd Howard. Sit there and try to pretend like you're this and that, like you do with a bunch of other Microsoft stuff. Everybody's going to call you out, and we already know we know a couple of those dudes are not built for criticism when criticism comes their way, right?
Yeah.
So they're real soft-hearted when it comes to that. So, but it just goes to show. Yeah, Realist, you gonna say something?
I was just laughing. I was gonna say, especially that dude with the gap. I think his name is John. That dude is mad sensitive.
John Linneman, that's the dude. Yep.
Post saying, seeing no Starfield ads on the big gaming sites is pretty revealing. It speaks volumes on how much MS thinks they don't need them.
They don't need them.
No.
They don't need them, and that's why a lot of these outlets didn't get access. Stephen Totillo, after he put his post, I saw Jason Schreier had chimed in on it. He said he's been out of access since like 2013. You don't say. 2013.
Yeah.
You know, it's
bro.
Like,
Now look, let's see.
Yes.
The Heisman is an award that you win, and the Heisman, John Heisman, whatever his name is, he's giving you a stiff arm, and that's exactly what Microsoft is doing to these media agencies. That's why I said I hope that they can continue to give them the Heisman. Don't let them back in. I know eventually they will. I feel like y'all, right? But I know that they're not going to completely shut them down.
Right.
And I'm mostly seeing these UK outlets complaining.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm tired of hearing from them. If PlayStation is so great, go talk about PlayStation. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but for the past few years, if there's no news if there's no Xbox news. It's Xbox has been feeding the media, whether it be positive or negative. So since they want to lean more towards the negative, I hope Microsoft continues to give them the cold shoulder and continues to freeze them out,
and that's what
and let them talk about PlayStation and see how far that gets them.
And we've been asking that. We've been asking for that for a long time. I was like, why did they keep, allow us to happen? Why give them codes? Why this and why that? Why they give them, let them be a it's just, and I'm glad they're stepping up now.
It's true, a lot of the things that people complain about with Microsoft, like, have been addressed in recent years. You think, a lot of people think Phil is soft-hearted. No, come to find out, he never was all this time. He was just biding his time, playing
his time.
Right? All these complaints that people would have about what Microsoft was doing, now we see what they were really all about. Yeah. Like, they knew these outlets were out here were trashing them left and right. They knew all along what it was. And now they're getting back at them with a big game like Starfield, and they're all clowning themselves publicly for all to see. Yeah, and all these UK outlets, it just goes to show Repop, owns a lot of these UK outlets, right? Not exclusively all of them, but a good chunk of the ones that, people know, right? It just goes to show, if you're an outlet complaining that you didn't get a code, number one, you probably didn't deserve one, because you're probably one of the ones who's always been talking that ish, right? So you're definitely not one. Or you're just not up at the totem pole where you need to have one, bro. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Look, Sick, where was all this solidarity when Survivor didn't get a Gran Turismo code? Where was all this outrage? Right? I'm glad that Microsoft is freezing these UK outlets out. Now I understand that why UK box charts are so important and get so publicized, because they all come from the same family, right? From Digital Foundry, it all comes from Game Industry Biz, all that. So this is why we get to see UK box sales every week. It's because of them, and it's all aimed to make PlayStation look better.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I hope, like I said, Microsoft needs to continue to freeze them out, continue to give them the cold shoulder, because they're not going to change their tune until it's popular to do so. Why not be unbiased and fair, no matter who's looking? Well, I understand that's not going to get you the clicks, but don't expect review codes like Refraud, right? Yeah. He's not the only one. This dude is steadily creating new creative narratives, right? This is why I said that we need more review codes and more hands of more reviewers. No, because when I first started noticing that reviewers are curated, it was with Elden Ring.
Yes.
Every reviewer that I read was an acknowledged Soulsborne fan, long time fan. So why shouldn't everybody else play the same game? Everybody because those early reviews influence the later reviews. So you don't, most of the people, they don't want to come in at a 70 or 80 if everybody else is at a 95. Same thing with Zelda.
Well, you get 10% lower than everybody by default.
Well, look at Zelda, right? They gave it to fans of the franchise. Everybody who spoke about it, I've loved Zelda since this and this and this. So those are the people who are going to get it first. And hey, look, if review codes and review scores mean that much, that's the way the game should be played. But I only paid attention to it because I don't normally read reviews. But I read the Elden Ring reviews, and I was like, wow, they were smart about who they gave those early review codes to. Absolutely. And then we see Sony completely taking out people who didn't give them glowing reviews.
Yeah.
And to me, it was valid criticism from Survivor. I mean, that outlet has given both companies' games average to poor reviews.
Yes.
But Sony has been able to control the narrative with nobody looking at them. But now that Xbox is doing it, it's a big issue. That's what I have a problem with.
Exactly. Once again, Microsoft is doing the same thing everybody else is doing now. It's a problem. When everybody else does it to Microsoft, it's all good. That's the way it is. But listen, man. Once again, with this whole Activision thing, all the receipts but it's receipts for stuff we already knew was true, right? This is what I said earlier, right? We already know who's cool and who's going to be unbiased and who's not, and even the ones who are not unbiased, right? Like Paris, we know what he really is, right? But he's not going to like the head that feeds him this egregiously and speak against Starfield. That's just not going to happen, He's going to keep it honest. But also, Microsoft knows what they have in Starfield. They know it's awesome. They already know this, right? That extra year that it took or whatever, you can tell it's like this is the most un-Bethesda-like release they've ever had from all the early talk, from everything we're hearing. and from the people I've spoken to who I know actually have access to it and have played it, right?
Yeah.
They're saying like the bugs aren't anywhere close. Like, of course there's bugs. Nothing's bug free at all, right? But nowhere even close to what any of
previous games
titles have been, right? At all. But meanwhile, look at all this stuff. Beast of Truth and definitely boy. Oh my God, I'm getting old man type right now. New Legal, right? Like they've been pointing this out too. Like these folks are out here saying all these just lies left and right? But when push comes to shove, you see what's going on.
Let's give a shout out to the chat box. We got Radiance 96, Google Poll, and Wilkin. And who's the SIKSLAYER guy in the chat? Oh my God.
This guy here, bro. This guy here.
Now give it up. Man on the stage is Google Poll. I mean, they do Blacklist.
Yeah, hey, and going back to your boy that you had, you put a clip of him up. It's like maybe Sony dodged the bullet. Look, PlayStation is where games go to die. You understand? Like, look at what they did with Deathloop, right? Deathloop met all the requirements for them to have, critical success over there. Yeah. What is it, 88, 89? Yeah. Nobody cared, right? Now, Ghostwire, it was in the 70s, but they didn't show it any love over there. So why is it that Sony is dodging bullets now?
Yeah.
You understand? It's because it's Xbox. This dude, he's a sad case. I'm surprised that like so many people even care about what he has to say. Like, I know he came from Destiny, but he just like kind of came out of nowhere. Where people are like constantly putting him out there, like making a fool of himself, things like that. Like, I don't know how big his following was before, but like this dude is deserves to be. Like, I don't understand like
he's not
how people choose to lend their viewership. Go ahead.
Well, all I know is that he was a part of the Destiny community. I don't really play Destiny like that. I never even played the second one, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we all heard of he was excommunicated from that community, right? But and so he came to do more general gaming stuff, but he stuck with the PlayStation pony side because that's getting him views and all this wild stuff he's saying and doing. See, here's the thing about it. There's two minds of it. He's got to realize he's full of shit in his heart of hearts, right? Because I remember being a kid and capping for one thing and talking shit about the other, right? Meanwhile, I went home or I went to my brother's house and had both. What am I talking about? The Super Nintendo and the Genesis. Like, in the schoolyard debates, I was capping for Nintendo, but meanwhile, I was playing just as many Genesis games.
Yeah.
And in fact, like, by the time I was 11, I was like, dude, I got to get off of this crap. Like, talking shit left and right about equally awesome systems. I'm playing, games that I still love today at age 43, right? But it just goes to show that was my mentality at 11 to realize, hey, this is kind of crap. I know what I'm saying is bullshit, right? So that he's got to, if I at 11 knew what I was saying was bullshit, this is a grown-ass man. He should know what he's saying is bullshit. But he's saying it to keep people talking about him and he gets views and clicks and all of that. But this can't last for, it could last for a long time. Look at King Thrash, how long he been doing his stupidness, right? Like, you would have thought his wings would have been clipped with volcanoing, but hey, then he got to a new level. But the thing I was going to say before that Legal and Beast were talking about was you look at Baldur's Gate, all the bugs and issues they're having with that game, right? Beloved game, but people are saying it's Game of the Year contender, right? It's that, Spider-Man potentially, Zelda, Starfield, and Hogwarts, right? Are the 5 games people have been talking about all year. That was last year.
Oh, was it? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
That was last year. It won last year, in fact, right? So
that's right, it did.
You go.
God, it's been a year? Jesus.
It's been a year. It's been a quick year thus far. I'm not going to lie. It has been a quick year. But anyway.
It felt like.
Yeah, a couple months ago.
It just came out like this year.
Yeah, but that was actually last year.
Oh, my God.
It's been like a year and a half. It's been out or so. But anyway, like Baldur's Gate.
Technos doesn't know that shit.
It's still having crazy issues. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous crap all the time. And it's just like, bro. So Baldur's Gate, which is a beloved and looks like it's a great game, but it's filled with bugs. But that's being put to the side. Imagine if that was Starfield.
No,
Microsoft made the best decision delaying that game when they did.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I don't care. The hell with Redfall and blah, blah, blah. Who cares about Redfall? The only people who care about Redfall are people who still like it and play it, right? Because some people do, right? And those PlayStation ponies who want to use it as a talking point, right? Because it's Starfield. Because it's Starfield now.
I like it.
Just stop. Right. You know? So it's just like, they want to come and bring up some sort of L, right? For Microsoft, like to put shit on their name. Meanwhile, you have Horizon, which is, come on, man. But, you know, like, it just goes to show everything they're saying such, and it's predictable, and why it's even being debated. Like I said earlier, if this was the 360 era, any of these people would have been canceled already in terms of like the gaming community would have excommunicated them, and that would have been it, right? That's what happened with Reforged in the Destiny community. He's gone from there, right? He's in our midst now, right? Driving us nuts, saying all the dumb stuff he says. And I don't mean like crazy. I mean like dying laughing nuts. This is just nuts to see, right? But every day it's something new with these guys. And it's just like you said, Realist. It's Microsoft, it's Xbox, right? That's putting all the news out there. There's nothing else. If it's not Microsoft, there's nothing else to talk about because Sony ain't got nothing, Nintendo ain't got nothing. They had one thing, Zelda. That's it. That was early in the year. This year's been dead. Otherwise, if it wasn't for Xbox, like there's been, listen, this year for everybody else has been for what Xbox was last year, but at least Xbox had more stuff than that last year.
Yeah,
it's true. Other than Nintendo with Zelda, right? You put that aside because that makes it actually not the same. But other than that, Nintendo has nothing for the rest of the year. They shot their load early. Okay, Sony's gonna shoot their load late, but it looks like it's not even is a dribble. Right, I'm getting too descriptive there. But
you're still clean. Don't worry.
I'm trying to be, but still a little too descriptive. But either way, it just goes to show, man. It really just goes to show.
We got Punty on a Tuesday in the chat.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. And Radiance,
Poe, Wilkin.
Yeah. Loyal homies, always.
Homies. What's up, homies? What's up, homies?
Yeah. Really, see there?
So here we got Metro UK. We didn't get a Starfield a review code, and neither did many other outlets, and here's why. Well, yeah, maybe I'm not reading an article, but I'm sure I know why. I mean, they've always been kind of like down on Xbox the whole time. If they were all just balanced, I don't want them to be biased to Xbox. I want them to be balanced between the two, right? Mm-hmm. Give honest reviews, give honest thoughts, then just like, dude, you're just hating all the time. So what's the point of you playing anything that's Xbox if you're just gonna keep hating it?
Right. There's other people who's more deserving because there's only a set number of codes. You can't give codes to everybody, right? It's just too much out there. You want to have it controlled, not even if it's for controlling the narrative, but this many? Nah, man. Nah, I like this. A select few who's trustworthy in the ways you're talking about. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. I didn't get my review copy. I'm pretty upset. I went ahead and bought the early access thing anyway. So.
Yeah, which is great. And we get DLC for that too.
Yeah, I'm really
you want to play
the DLC.
The game that bad, get the early access.
Yeah. That's what I did.
Well, you're not entitled to anything after you sit around trashing the console for years, day in and day out, and you expect freebies. Like, what part of the game is that? Where else can you expect that? Hey, you slapped me, but you need to borrow $50. Come on, man. It's crazy. Like, they don't apply logic to anything that they do. It's just about
not at all.
The fanboys are Reddit, and the more that I experience them, the less I like the gaming community. Like, they don't need logic to rally behind something stupid. But none of these idiots deserve a review code if they didn't get one.
No.
Like, especially those UK outlets, man. I mean, we know that's PlayStation Nation. So since it's PlayStation Nation, wait for PlayStation to give you something to talk about.
They got Fort
Like,
Solis.
Dude,
really?
you know they're not gonna talk about that.
They got to talk about it.
They're gonna act like they're gonna act like that didn't happen.
Oh, why? It's a space game that, is coming out or came out like right around the window of Starfield, so they have something to compete with. They have their own version of a space game, which they can compete with Starfield now. So they can go ahead and buy that game, play it on their precious PlayStation, and they can compare it to what they see on YouTube with Starfield.
Well, like I said, I feel sorry for that game because the developers had no idea that they were going to.
I want it. Like, honestly, I want it later.
It's a similar-esque game, like, space game, whatever. You know what I mean? And it's being held up by these ponies as a sacrificial lamb, basically. Like, why are they even trying? Like, and this is the point that I was making before. They know what they're saying on the one hand, but they keep they can't help themselves. And the funny thing is, some of these ponies, these really crazy ponies, like there's one in the spaces whose name I'm not supposed to say apparently, but I did there, and they were all with a a joking tone saying, "Oh, you shouldn't say his name. This is a really, really, really toxic person."
You know
the one I'm talking about, really. Sumo, right? Who? So this guy is nuts. You probably have never heard of him, which is a good thing. His name is Sumo, or something like that, right? Okay, this guy is crazy, but guess what? He bought the premium upgrade with rewards points, and so did.
And there's nothing wrong with that because I do it with Game Pass.
No, and I do that with Game Pass too. But the point is, he did it with rewards points. It's not like he paid for Game Pass.
Yeah.
And he's just doing it. No, he paid for the whole
game
premium upgrade.
Yeah.
With the rewards points. That means he's on Xbox playing daily, like I always say.
Well, he could be getting the PC version because he has I'm sure he has a big.
Either way, it's a Microsoft ecosystem. It really doesn't even matter. Listen, Xbox and PC are like stepbrothers. They got the same dad, Microsoft, right? And different moms. Yeah. Like, really, right? So it doesn't matter if he's actually on the Xbox or PC. I don't really care, but he's probably on Xbox. He's probably on Xbox anyway, to be honest, right? And there's another one of these PlayStation ponies who's known out there, but more popular. If I remembered his name and I said his name, you would know who I was talking about. But either way, he also did the same thing. I think he did that last week, right? There are these guys who talk so much like they never have Xbox, they wouldn't buy one, but they're able to buy the premium upgrade with rewards points. So that means not only do they have Xbox, they play it every day to earn those points to have enough to do it.
Able to buy the use Bing as your browser or your
browser, but your
that's
not enough. It's not enough. You have to be playing on Xbox to really like. If you just do the Bing thing, that's not enough. Trust me, I do it every day. Right? I do both. It's all the same points. It's all in the same pot, right? So I do both. I maximize the points I get. But these guys are console dudes. If they're doing the Bing thing, it doesn't even matter. You still have to play a certain amount to be able to earn this much and to have it stacked up where you could buy the premium upgrade. That's a couple of months of stacking up and not spending the points, right? To be able to get that in the first place. And these are the same dudes who's talking all this stuff about Xbox. They would never get one, blah, blah, blah. But that means you've had one probably from day one. You play Xbox games left and right. It's probably the reason why they're not playing any place and PlayStation games aren't really selling like that, right? Because they're always complaining, right? Over there at PlayStation and Sony that, they're not selling enough copies of games. Yeah. I see why now. Y'all really playing the Xbox games. Y'all really playing the Xbox versions of games. You just want it on PlayStation, but you're not going to get it, so you're going to want to get the Xbox. The same you said to us, well, then just get a PlayStation. Well, y'all just getting Xboxes, and you have been all along. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy times, man. Got the boy in here. You just want to see it. What are you doing, Daddy? Daddy, what are you doing? You want to say hi? He can't see you. You can just see your arm. There you go. Close the door. He's ready for Starfield. Every day he's asking me, Daddy, you know it's coming out in 3 days, right? You know it's coming out in like 4 days or whatever it was, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days. You know what's coming out? Any more news, Daddy? There's a lot of news about Starfield. And it's like, yep, there sure is. He's aware.
That's good to hear. I remember we were talking about, was that last week we were talking about that?
Yep.
Can't wait to construct ships and stuff.
He's ready to make his ship. Yeah, he's ready, man. And he's
so
like,
happy. For this
and then he goes, he's keeping out. I'm not even joking. I don't feed him this stuff. He finds this on his own, right?
Right.
It's about, Daddy, you got the early access, right? It's like, yeah. He's like, you know it's gonna come out like a Thursday night about 8 o'clock or something, like 9 o'clock. It's like, yeah, but you're in bed. You got school the next day. Daddy, it's coming out on Thursday. I know it's coming out on Thursday. That means I get to play Thursday. That means you get to sleep and wait till Friday after school. Daddy, can I play Thursday? No, you can't play Thursday.
You're going to be playing Thursday.
I'll be playing Thursday. You're going to be asleep. Yeah. Don't you get that? Don't you understand that? No, well, he's poking it. He's cracking the door open. So,
Daddy, can I watch?
yeah. He wants to. Does it have co-op, Dad? It's like, no, there's no co-op.
Okay, let me ask you a question, though. If at 8 o'clock you see him, are you going to let him watch for a little while?
Oh, yeah. I'll let him watch. Yeah.
I should have prefaced that with just saying yes or no without him being able to hear. Or he already left? Okay.
Yeah, he left already. Yeah.
Okay, because I don't want him to find out and be like, he already watched.
No. Yeah. Like every time he brings up Starfield, I say, boy, you don't be losing no sleep now. I say, you better do your work, your schoolwork and everything. It's like, you're not going to play anything until.
So, Tech, how many Xboxes do y'all have?
3. Got the 2 Series X, the Series S, but I still use the 1X up in the kids area. So we got 4 online right now.
Cool.
So I got the Halo Series X right here in front of me on the desk because I got the monitor that does the HDMI 2.1, so it can handle up to whatever 120 or 240, whatever the refresh rate is.
4K 120.
Yeah, so it can do that. It's capable.
Nice.
My monitor is capable of doing that because I got one of the first ones that had the HDMI 2.1 release, and then the big TV that's over here, the 75-inch TV, has the launch Series X, and that's where my son usually plays. So I get to play over here on my desk, and then I got the Series S under my desk, which I use for recording and streaming. And the reason why I do that is because if I connect my Series X straight to my capture card, it loses some of the resolution and refresh rate and all that stuff. It's not 2.1 on the capture card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Capture card is right.
So my Series X is connected directly to the monitor, so I can take advantage of the 2.1. While the Series S, which I really don't care for much on for fidelity, it's connected to my capture card just for streaming purposes and recording stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fireboss and Shane G in the chat. What's up, folks?
Shane G. That's right.
The homie right there.
Hey, Shane G killing me, man. Look, Shane G won't let him live. It's like, look, he's gonna beat him into submission. Look, excellent. Look, Shane, you can't make him love you. It's up to Xbox.
Yeah.
Once Xbox goes to buy Sony, that's the only way they'll start to love Xbox. They're never gonna play right. They're never gonna play fair. They're never gonna say what we know they should say. Just let them live, dog. It'll save your blood pressure.
Nah, you know what? We need to turn them all into Reforged Gaming, where they keep making excuses for themselves, like so we can just sit there and point and laugh, right? Like King Thrash, right? Oh, like he thought he was complaining. Of course, he was one of the ones, one of the major names, right? Complaining about, you can't walk around the planet. Can't even you don't even have all of New York City and Spider-Man in 2.5 games. You come tell us that. Number one,
you just
right?
you were just given an extra burrow too.
Yeah, man. Like,
man, look, yeah. I'm the Queen Trash. That dude didn't even.
I know that's your boy.
You're botting a little.
This
dude. What did you say?
This dude goes around talking.
He's saying that King Thrash is.
I'm in the
boy.
store, dude. No. Can you, can you hear me? Good.
Nope.
All right. I said, I don't know why I
His
pay that guy attention. He didn't even play Spider-Man. He does not play. He does not. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm in Wendy's.
Wendy's, pick me up a spicy
Well, I
chicken
think
sandwich.
you were saying he doesn't play a lot. Which you're right, because I think I was talking about this last week. A lot of the games on his account are some weirdo things, like a bunch of kids games. So I assume he has kids and whatever that's that, but also some weird ish. Like he doesn't play any of the big PlayStation games that he sits there and talks all this stuff about, right? But what I was saying was, so he was complaining. Of course, he was complaining about being able to walk around, right? But then the new thing was that you can't land on a gas giant. So Ono is Alex, right? Talk about that guy a lot. But he's the one apparently, and I only saw that J-Rock had put up a video basically clowning him, where he showed a little clip about what they explain, why scientists even in the future, like when they're exploring the stars, kind of like in Starfield, like they'll never be able to land on Jupiter because it's a gas giant, right? And besides the tremendous gravity and every other issue that exists with
physics
with that planet, right? Just the physics of the planet, right? But this was a new level of volcanoing for him. So some other news site, everybody's acting like it was a big news site, like CNN caught onto it. No, this was some website that nobody heard of. It's really not that big, so I don't know why everybody's acting like it's a big website. But still, it's the L, because Alex said something like, what, did you fail 5th grade science or physics or whatever? Like, what is wrong with you? It's a gas giant. It's in the name. It's just a big ball of gas. There's no solid ground. And Jupiter in particular has crazy ass gravity, for example, right? Even if it had solid ground, you couldn't go there because you get crushed long before you even touch the ground because of the tremendous gravity, right? And a lot of gas giants are like that, right? So it's just like, it was a new level of volcanoing, and that blew up, right? Yeah. That blew up. It's just like, this dude has to be used to getting clowned at all the time. And I'm sure all these guys are. I guess they assume it's a part of the, of the game they play.
Yeah.
But this is a new level. This was a new level. This has to hurt on the inside, bro.
That's
like, for real. Like, the whole internet thinks you're a dumbass. Even people who cap with you, who rock with you, think you're a dumbass. Like, they have to talk crap about him behind his back, or sometimes to his face. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Just, it's mind-numbingly stupid.
Here's one post. He says, "You cannot go to these planets because exploration was a lie. Jesus, it gets worse." And I reply, "Well, you can't because it's not on PlayStation. I'll be able to take the journey and explore these planets just fine with my Series X. Happy viewing from Earth."
Oh, I can't even see that or what he said because I think we're still blocked from each other. Like, I know like I said, we blocked.
Oh, he blocked you?
So. Like long ago. I told the story long ago. Like, yeah. So maybe he done blocked me, but I had seen the post though. So maybe other people had taken screenshots. But yeah. I can't look at. I can't see what you said. To him, I don't think.
When people respond to somebody's post, like what he put up there, and people take screenshots, and I understand the purpose of it is to get it out there before it gets taken down. If they
blocked him.
If they ever take it down,
the podcast way back when. So yeah, I could see it.
I like it if they would tag the person who posted, right? Like King Thrash, like I retweet it or quote tweet his comment because I want him to see it. And if it irks him, great. If it doesn't, oh well. So, but some people make some very good, witty comments, but they never tag the person they're talking about. I'm like, tag the person. See what he's scared.
Yeah, it's true. Like, that's important. Like, they're not gonna see it, and maybe like it was just like you said. You want to antagonize King Thrash a little bit. You want him to see it and react, right?
Yeah.
But it's you're basically fishing for clout. Let's be honest. But that's what they all do, right?
Yeah.
But you're just trying to clown him, so you want the clown to get around. But trust me, already that was a specific thing that's already got around on him. So yeah, he already got hit.
You can't land on a gas planet. Yeah, you can't. You're right.
Because it's gas.
Because it's gas. Gas, man. Gas. It's a bitch.
I'm just like it just made my head hurt, bro. Like to a new level. But I mean, it's gotta hurt him in his heart, bro, to see this. Like he's known for being a dumbass, and he just keeps getting clouded on a bigger and bigger stage every time. Like, man, listen, man. I just hope nothing physically ever happens to any of these people, man. One day, I feel like it's gonna happen one day, like somebody's gonna get clowned and roasted so hard, something bad's gonna happen to somebody, and I don't want to see that, because then they're gonna start blaming us, right?
Oh yeah.
The gaming community, and I mean the gaming community as a whole, right? The gaming community as a whole, and you can only imagine some of these, press outlets will try to spin it in one direction or the other, and they can get some traction off of that. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. That would be bad for the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised. Would you?
I'm not gonna play this video. No, I wouldn't be surprised. Somebody, yeah, this is crazy. I'm not gonna play this video because one, you guys can't hear it, and second, because I think you guys seen it already. So what do you guys think about this guy when you see his face when it changes?
And I see.
Stop defending Starfield.
Oh, this kid here. Listen, man. He looks like he's not even old enough to drink. He's not even a senior in high school. It doesn't look like to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen what he said. There's a lot of undercurrent of he has no knowledge of what he speaks of.
No.
He's too young to have a lot of that. Like, bro, stop defending Starfield. Stop defending Baldur's Gate and PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Look at, go touch a girl. Forget grass. Go touch your girl. Who said that? Was it Mag? Who said that? Right? Go touch a girl, man.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe they'll slap you because you got no game in and you look like a weirdo. but I mean, do something, man. Do something better than this being clowned on the internet. But you probably think this is a good thing because your face is all over the internet and you're getting views. But you're just being known for being a dumbass. Like, this is Twitter. You don't even make money off of this. Like, actually, some of these accounts can now, right? But you know how much they pay you on Twitter, even for some of the bigger names I've seen, they got like $100 a month. Like, to be known as a moron all over the world. And King Thrash, I see why he does it too. Like, if you see his view counts and his subscribers, it's ridiculous, right? So, in his mind, he thinks he's laughing all the way to the bank. But bro, you have no self-worth.
Like, why would you want to be known for that?
It's gotta hurt you on the inside. You think you're laughing all the way to the bank, but in the end, like, you get people think you're an abject. You're like the poster boy for complete idiot in gaming, right?
Yeah.
And here's another wannabe, right? But he's more like that one kid that I've seen who was in his car, I think last year at nighttime, and complaining about Xbox in his car and like yelling and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you remember who I was talking about? Like, this is like that kid, but he's doing it, I guess, from his room or wherever. It kind of looks like it must be his room. A bunch of movie posters and stuff. Like, Endgame is old because I was gonna say maybe he works at a movie theater, but Endgame is old, and I doubt that poster would still be up in any movie theater. So that's got to be his room.
Those are room. Room posters.
But it just goes to show, man. Once again, he and J Dub brag about it. Yeah, I think it was J Dub. I think it was J Dub.
Punty asked this dude if he can land his ship on a fart. Oh my god. Yeah, I listened to this and I'm like, dude, really? It's like he hasn't even played the game and he's talking crap about it, and then he's trying to convince people of his crap.
Dreamcast guy is doing the same thing too.
Yeah.
But that guy, bro. Ooh, there's another guy. Like,
that's like me talking about Ragnarok, talking crap about it. Like, I hate that stupid game. It looks retarded and everything. That I haven't even played it. How can I say that without even experiencing it myself? You know?
And the comparison they do to No Man's Sky, that doesn't even work. Like, let's not forget that No Man's Sky was broken for years. And see, this is what I was talking about with this kid. He's too young to have remembered that. He's probably too young to have remembered that, because that was probably when he was like 8, when the game first came out, like 10 years ago. No, it would have been, yeah, like 8.
No way.
It's been a long time. Hold on. No Man's Sky. When did? Hold on, I'm gonna wiki it right now.
Computer. When did it come out?
Wiki. Hold on. No Man's Sky came out. It was announced in 2013.
Really?
It was released in 2016 amongst controversy and backlash. Right?
Oh, I remember.
2 years later, they came out with the overhaul in 2018, and then 2020 they finally added like planets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the game, yeah, it took years.
Now it's like loved by everybody.
Yeah, loved by everybody. And they kind of like, bro, that's not the same thing as what Starfield did. Yeah. Starfield is Skyrim in space.
Aha,
right?
But didn't Phil say it was more like Oblivion?
All along. Okay, Oblivion in space, whichever. Either way, right? It's the same heritage, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's the end point for Todd. I was gonna say Todd Howard. I'm confusing the names there, right?
The guy with 2 first names.
Right. Every game he's made up to this point was in preparation for Starfield. He's always said this was his dream. Everything he did before was to lead up to that, was the prerequisites, the engine, gameplay style, the reputation, all of that to get to this point. This is his magnum opus. Like, and you're trying to compare that to a game that,
you hear that, guys? He used the word magnum opus.
Be complete. No, literally it is. Like that's what a magnum opus is. Like his peak art that evolved from all his previous iterations of art that he made beforehand to get to this one point. That's very literally what it is. Like, and this kid is talking about No Man's Sky.
I didn't know what it meant, so thanks.
He's too young to have been at all, bro, to even say that. But it's just the talking point that the ponies are putting up.
No, it's the popular thing to say right now. Just crap on it.
Right, and he's not the one who originated that, but he'll repeat it.
Yeah. He'll repeat it, just like everybody else will. One does it, it's like, oh, that's the cool thing to say. Let's crap on Starfield, and then somebody else will pick it up on it. And then the next person, and then the whole gang is all up in it,
Yep.
So,
hey, really, you good now?
Y'all will learn one day. Yeah, man. Yeah, I had to get out of Wendy's, man. But look, y'all will learn one day. But you're right, it is his magnum opus. So, what do you say about Indiana Jones?
What, the movie?
I don't know nothing about Indiana Jones.
If Starfield is his magnum opus, what is Indiana Jones? Because see, that was another one. That's one where they said he went into the offices and knocked their socks off, and they couldn't wait to sign the contract to have the game made. So I'm interested. I'm as interested in that one as I am Starfield. Go ahead. What'd you say, Tech?
I say his magnum opus 2. Part 2?
Nah. Honestly, Starfield is his magnum opus because every game that he's ever made has been this massive RPG. Each one pushing new boundaries. So yeah, this one would be, especially considering like the amount of planets and things like that. They say 1,001 planets. He also said that the technology didn't exist until now to make this game. It kind of sounds like James Cameron. Right?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to make Avatar, but the technology didn't exist.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, this one would be his magnum opus. I was just asking,
Avatar did look good though when it first came out.
Avatar still looks good. I bought the first 2.
At the time, it was awesome the way it looked compared to other movies.
It really was.
Mm-hmm. I think I still got the 3D version of Avatar.
That was a good 3D movie, but that's because it was always planned to be in 3D and all that stuff. Like that was what he wanted all along.
Yeah.
But I don't think Starfield needs any type of defense force, right? I don't think we need to say anything to stop the ponies from doing what they do, because they're gonna be maybe playing Spider-Man. But what I was saying earlier is y'all talk about Queen Trash, right? And all she does is talk about games that she doesn't play. Mm-hmm. Right, even when it comes to PlayStation, the exclusives, they're not being played. So this is the person that we're gonna considered some type of authority when it comes to what is it called, credential checks.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to y'all talk about him for the most part, but like I don't really talk about him. I just know that he's fraudulent. He's a JRPG guy. Honestly, he probably would be more popular if he played to his passion, which is JRPGs.
Yeah.
Which is talking about those games in depth, talking about the stories. And people love that. I mean, you look at like Halo follower and all these other people, they just have channels dedicated. What was his name? My name is Bife. Like, I was like, man, this dude has all these subscribers just talking about Destiny. This dude plays JRPGs and he should stick there,
Well, it's no
instead of
different
with
than the
this,
people
because
who dedicate themselves to Minecraft.
but he looks
and stuff.
stupid.
When I started,
But he looks stupid.
When I started my stuff,
What I'm saying, Tech, is like, we know that there are specialty channels, and I believe that he would do better for himself and not look so stupid if he would just do something like that. Yeah, when you started, you had your Minecraft channel, and you probably should go do some Minecraft, man. My kids love Minecraft.
I need to go.
I
back
bet
and
it was
start playing some
huge.
more Minecraft. It just bores me though. Minecraft.
Okay, well no. See, this is different. Like, this dude likes watching video game titties and JRPG girls and schoolgirls in skirts. So he should talk about that.
Hentai, whatever it's called.
Yeah, he should talk about those things instead of looking stupid talking about Xbox. That's all I'm saying.
Just look smart and stuff that you're passionate about, right?
Thrash is a JRPG guy?
Yes. We used to be cool, bro. Like,
okay, you and him.
I went on his clown show, and at the end of the day, we ended up talking about games. But like JRPGs is where he really has some kind of knowledge.
Okay.
But when it comes to gaming, especially when it comes to Xbox, he doesn't have any knowledge, and he looks stupid trying to make Xbox look bad.
Right.
And I don't understand why we pay guys like that attention.
Well, I know why I do it, right? Because it's to show, he's a textbook example. I wouldn't even say he's textbook because he's not. He's worse than the textbook, right? He's like the worst of them, I would say, in terms of lack of intelligence. But like, the mentality of all of them is all the same. How they express it is many similarities, but they're all pretty individual when it comes to that, right? And that's what we talk about these guys, because it just goes to show. I know it's a phrase I use a lot, but I really mean it when I say, you see all these elements, these bad elements in each one of these guys, in the disingenuous way they talk, the double speak, the goalpost moving, all of that stuff, right? But when a dude is just known for being a dumbass and not even known as what he was, I had no idea he was a JRPG fan, none at all. But when I look at his PlayStation account, I see all this weird stuff on his account, and I don't mean like, I mean like,
bro, he's trying to get that S tier, bro. You remember his name used to be S tier. Now he's blocked me since, right?
Mm-hmm.
So his name used to be S tier gamer. So to get that S tier, you gotta finish a lot of those 50-cent games. But this is the guy. This is the guy that we deal with. This is the guy that we talk about on our podcast and tweet about. Come on, I don't even talk about that guy. Well, I'm blocked now, though.
I hear what you're saying. It's just that, he's just another example of there's many. It didn't have to be him. There's a lot of them. The J-Dub, there's the J-Tech, all of these clowns, right? Puerto Rico. We know the names, but they're always saying the same stuff. And the thing about it, too, is these guys are the leaders, or like the ringleaders, I would say. And I see, when I look on Facebook or any social media, or if I go to a GameStop, right? It's the manager at the GameStop. If I go to GameStop, I don't go to GameStop, but I hear countless stories of X person went to GameStop, right? And while he's looking around the shelves for this or that, he's hearing a person walks in and asks about this game for Xbox. No, it's not coming to Xbox. It's only coming to PlayStation. Blatantly live on a multi-plat game.
Yeah.
Right? Countless stories we hear about this stuff all the time. Like, and these people listen to these idiots, and this is what they're spreading this ignorance around. It's like an infection that's going around.
Yeah.
It's a disease. It's like idiocracy.
It is.
It truly is.
Remember, I told y'all about that when I was in Mississippi. The guy came in. Well, let me trade in my Xbox. I was like, why you trading it in? He was like, oh man, I already got a PlayStation. I said, well, did you even play the Xbox? No, not really. And then the guy was like, well, the PlayStation does have better exclusives. I said, I bet you he
Mhm.
don't even play the exclusives.
Mhm.
He was like, no, no. It's like they're better. I said, no. I said, dude, that's your opinion. But I bet you he doesn't play the exclusives.
Yeah.
He was like, I said, look, man, did you get that God of War in November? Oh hell no, man! I've been playing Red Dead Redemption.
Mm.
I said, so what about Spider-Man? I don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
That's, and that's why I said most people don't even play the exclusives, but y'all sit here telling people that that's some type of determining factor in their console choice. People buy it with everybody else is buying, probably because their cousins have it or their friends have it. It's not because of any darn exclusives.
Mm.
Right.
He was like, well, what do you need help with? I said, give me some headphones, sucker.
Yep. And then,
I mean, I wasn't that abrasive in the store though. I was like, I was laid back when I told him. But like, I hear it all the time. I've been to Best Buy and hear people say like dumb stuff. This mom comes in with a little boy, like 8 years old, for a console. He's telling her to go get this spaceship of a console, and I'm like, and then she asked me, she's like, do you play games? I was like, yeah. I started to say, well, I'm standing here. Anyway, so
yeah, like in the video game shop, huh?
Well, this was Best Buy, and I was in the video game. I was like, she's like,
Okay.
which one do you have? I was like, well, personally, I have both of them, but if I had to pick one, it would be an Xbox. She's like, why? I said, well, I mean, what games does he play? I don't know. I said, Fortnite. Everybody's playing Fortnite. You can get that on Xbox. And this was before like PlayStation, like, kind of had a solid offering on their services. I still wouldn't recommend their service because they take too long to put games in it. But I was like, you can get all these games in Game
Oh yeah, Game
Pass, and Fortnite is free to play. So that's why we get an Xbox. It's about games. So like, also his friends. I don't know where his friends are. I don't care where his friends are. I said, well, get an Xbox, and I say you'll save $200 if you get that Xbox Series S. That's why I laugh at these people talking about Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Like most people that have a Series S don't give a fat rat about couch co-op.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we're gonna make a big deal out of it because that's the topic of the month until Starfield comes out. Right?
Nobody
There's nothing
cares
else to
about
talk about. So we
split
talk about
screen.
Let's talk about Series S and split screen.
Nobody cares about split screen. You
No.
said the Series S.
No,
Nobody cares
I care
any
about
of
split
this
screen.
stuff.
Hey, do you care about split screen? He's like, doesn't even know what it is.
See? There
Right.
you go.
Exactly. Like I said, there's one game that my kids and my wife play called Coin Squad, or two, Coin Squad and Night Squad, and that's not even split screen. That's like everybody's on this like maze, running around fighting one another.
At the same
It's all on
time,
one screen. It's top
like
down.
Street Fighter.
It's top down.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. So like, it's I don't know. I hate saying like things like useless, but it's something that's not used much anymore.
Yeah.
Like GoldenEye was its peak as far as I'm concerned. I mean, can you guys think of another game that was
Halo.
GoldenEye was the peak of split screen?
Halo.
I didn't
Halo
play it on
1
split
was.
screen.
Well,
Yeah, I didn't play that. I
well,
didn't do LAN parties or anything. Like everybody I knew had a PlayStation.
Like the last split
Like,
screen game was definitely Halo 1. Definitely.
Look at Punny and his
The last
fancy
Yeah.
friends. He says more
That's
than
why I said
10
for me.
people bought Xboxes so they can play games with him. Look at that. Too fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Too
That's
fancy.
because he's the man, dude.
He's from Canada, that's why.
Hey,
Who?
Punty.
Punty.
Punty, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Punty, bro.
The homie.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I heard right. No, dude, Funny and I were on Twitter all day.
Yeah.
It's weird stories.
I know, man. I was working, like I was dealing with a phone call this day that took about 3 hours to deal with. I start looking at Twitter and I'm like, damn, I was like, who's chatting it up, man? My notifications were blowing up, right? And sure enough, man, it's Punty and Realist. Punty, Realist. Punty,
Ugh.
more
Punty
realist.
and realist.
Punty,
These guys.
more
Ugh.
emojis of Punty and Realist. That's all right, man. That's the most notifications I get all day anyway. So I like to see my phone blowing up. Like, yeah.
But
So
I mean,
3 days.
You
Is
were
it?
saying.
Yeah, 3 days. We were going over the timeline earlier before we went live, and from what it says, it's gonna be Thursday at what 7 p.m. for us in Central Time.
Yes, in Eastern Time, 8.
My son just told me 8 o'clock. I think he's wrong. You're just learning about time zones. How can he tell me about time zones? Oh, he saw a picture and he believed it. So.
8 p.m. New York, 7 p.m. Chicago, and you and Chicago are in the same.
That's 7.
It's
7 Central. Yeah, Central Time. That's 7.
Yeah.
That's Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday. In fact, I have to make sure to J-Rock because I told him the wrong time earlier. Because earlier I had sent the chat 9 and I put 8.
Yeah, see, you got sick over here sending misinformation. Dude, what kind of pony is this guy?
and the other thing too is, I thought it was Friday, so I was like, oh, it doesn't matter if I have to work Friday.
Oh, that's nothing, dude. I thought today was, I think Wednesday. And the person I was talking to was like, yeah, I was like, dang it, I'm gonna be busy Thursday. It's like my Wednesday is busy, and she was like, dude, it's Tuesday. I'm like, oh crap, it's Tuesday. Lost my day, man. I messed up my days.
Yeah, I had to work yesterday when I normally don't on Mondays. So yeah. I know how it feels. This week is extra long for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're excited. He's excited. He's asking every day, like I said, about Starfield news. Like, did you hear about the new Starfield news? Did you hear something new? And this and that? Starfield. And I was like, yes, dude. I heard about it. I was like, I heard it. Get off my back. No, we're both.
Yeah, that's why I asked you how many Xboxes you had, man. So like everybody be playing. Like I showed it to my children, and they can play it on the 5th.
I think what's sold.
I tried to get my son to play Armored Core too.
I tried to get him to play Fallout, and he did start it, but then I guess it didn't catch his interest. He just
it's too big.
It was too big, right? And then he saw Starfield. And then I told him, it's like, well, it's by the same makers of Fallout. So if you don't like Fallout, you probably won't like this. And then he saw another video about how the ships, about building the ships. And then he saw some dogfighting, space dogfighting stuff going on. And he's like, ooh, he liked that. So now he's all into it. We'll see.
Man, all I know is eventually I'm going to start building a bunch of ships from like the sci-fi stuff I grew up with. So like I want to do the SDF Macross, right? Shout out to Pong Soul. I know he's the equal big, Macross / Robotech fan. I imagine he'll try to build one too. But yeah, man. Any of those, spaceships, from pop, science fiction, Battlestar Galactica, I don't know, the early Enterprise, stuff like that, right? Like you'll see a lot of people be making.
My son mentioned somebody's gonna make a Death Star. Or a Star Destroyer. Sorry.
Oh, for sure. Somebody's going to make Rob the Robot.
Yeah.
In fact, I think they made something that looked like Rob the Robot already, right? It was some kind of like big, like stupid mech with just arms. It kind of reminded me of Rob the Robot, but it had like the Gundam colors, like blue, red, white, and blue. I could have sworn I saw something like that, and it was trying to fly in space and it crashed or something like that.
Somebody's going to make a Star Wars ship out of it.
Well, people are going to make all types of stuff, and they might start like, and they'll be, and the mods. Oh,
mine's gonna be easy. I'm just gonna make a cube like the Borg, which is gonna be a cube ship.
Yes. I gotta do a Borg cube,
and it's gonna be green because they're green and the Xbox green.
So. Yes. Oh yeah, you know what you should do? You should make it look like the Series X.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Don't make it perfect. Make a rectangle like the Series X.
Yeah.
And it'll glow green. Boom from the top.
Yeah. There you go. See. There you go. All right, you ready?
I won't get creative with the ships until like I do everything else.
Right. That'll be like the last.
It's like I saw people making like helicopters and hovercrafts and Breath of the Wild. I didn't do that until I finished everything. I'd have to be bored.
Right.
I'm this idiot.
Put it back. Boy. All right, man. Well, let's cut it out. I wanted to do this tonight just because we may be busy Thursday night and playing the game.
Most definitely.
If I'm going live, it's only because I'm streaming it. That is the only reason. I won't be, doing a show thing.
Everybody.
I'll be chilling at home.
Yeah.
Today was a surprise. I just looked down and saw. I was like,
he doesn't know I took Friday
Oh,
So,
fellas. So let me remind everybody, it's already been a patch for the game, like 13, 15 gigs, something like that, right?
yeah.
Make sure you get it updated, because I turned on my Xbox today and it didn't have the update already on. I had to, manually do it. But like I said before, I had gotten the 300 megabyte, stub that they had, available to download like a while ago.
Word.
And so when everybody was talking about, I explained this last week, but it bears repeating, that, when everybody was tweeting because the preloads were up, right? Everybody was, tweeting pictures of, their display, showing the downloads going, right? I came home, mine was already downloaded. I didn't go on the Xbox website or the app or whatever to force my Xbox to do it. I had the stub there already.
It just
because
worked.
It'll automatically update stuff, right? It just works the way it should. But this update for the game wasn't there, so I had to manually get it. So make sure you have your patches up to date. You don't want to be the one, counting down the minutes, and all of a sudden you try to launch it. It's like, oh, it needs another big package you forgot to get. I'm sure.
Good thing I got a 1 gig service, baby. Woo!
I got 2 gigs, but I only have a router.
Damn, 2 gigs.
Now. Yeah, but I only have a router.
So yours is bigger than
the only
mine,
reason
huh?
Well, it would be, but I can't even use it. And the only reason I did it was because new contract costs less money. Not for the actual speed.
Punty's gonna be like, what?
Hey man, I'm Haitian, so yeah, it's not a problem.
So yeah, mine's bigger, but I don't use it. Way to go, sick. You just put yourself down.
I said that's not a problem I have. It's not a problem that I have. I don't have to worry about it as a problem. It's a negative. It's not a negative. Let me tell you.
All right. Any last words?
Yeah. Y'all hear me?
No,
not
just
now.
Well, now, okay, I was saying something. I was like, all right, cool, man. Nothing, man. Just leave these goofy people alone, and just get ready, man. And while we're playing the game, they're gonna be talking about the game.
Yeah.
They don't have anything going on. I saw somebody talk about Spider-Man for the first time in a long time today.
Fort Solis.
But leave the media alone, especially, dude. They don't even have that, right? They don't want to play it, so they gotta wait. When does Spider-Man come out? Next month, October?
Yeah,
October.
They're not even looking forward to it. Starfield has stolen their joy. Us being excited about Starfield has stolen their joy. So just leave them in their misery. I'm just gonna be posting screenshots, reposting these media members crying about not getting review copies and laughing, memeing, because
that's all we've been doing.
Exactly. Because man, like, I'm just glad that especially for people like you, Sick, because you're like, man, they don't need the media. I'm like, they're gonna entreat, they're gonna be cool with some media members, but there's certain ones ring the alarm. But see, some of those people, like those UK outlets, they deserve no love, no grace, because of everything they've been doing over the past few years, right? Exactly. And it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse, right? Because we got more games coming. There should be at least 4 coming next year, big games.
Yeah.
Right? There should be at least 4 big games coming next year, and I hope Xbox I hope they don't give them something just to see if they act right. I hope they just continue to ignore them until they get the picture. And then the new breed of media come in, and you know what? Journalism is lost, period. It doesn't matter what kind of journalism it is. It's no reformation for them. I just hope that if you have gone out of your way to make Xbox look bad, I hope they continue to ignore you. That's all I got to say on that.
Most everybody in the press, man, is just, a puppet. It's like, somebody has their hand up their butt and moving their mouth for them, right? We've seen too many examples of individuals in the press who weren't even that well known, like Kat Bailey or this person or that person, right? Who were responsible for, for some of the things that's been happening, like Kat Bailey most recently with the second time IGN violated, right? Not showing games that are multiplayer and just showing them only on PlayStation, right? Right, and Kat Bailey was responsible for that second mistake, apparently, right? And she was called out for it. So what happened? She started blocking people left and right. But it just goes to show, like, eventually, what's gonna happen is, they've been trying forever to fight against these YouTubers and all these people online and social media, right? Who don't need the press for nothing. The press have long ago shown. Like, forget 2013, it was years before then they was already smelling of the bias, right? So it's just like people are waking up to it, man. Like all along, Microsoft knew what they were doing. When people were complaining that Microsoft was giving access to this person and that person, man, I really think, I was always one of the ones, when people would say, oh, this and that, like they really need to do it. Like, man, trust in what Microsoft is doing. And now they're showing and proving that they knew all along.
Yeah.
They knew what to do all along. So
Word.
I'm going to be playing the games and just laughing and pointing at these clowns like we have been, man. It's funny, and they ain't got nothing, and we're just going to keep rubbing it in their face. It's like if you have a puppy or a kitten or whatever, right? And it's not going in the litter or wherever it's supposed to go. It poops on your carpet or whatever. What do? You take them, you rub their face in it, and if it's a cat, you put them in the litter.
Man,
or
this guy.
Am I lying? That is what you do. And
that's what you did to a kid?
No, a kitten.
Oh, a kitten.
A kitten or a dog. That's why I said litter. I'm not going to put a kid in a litter. What are you talking about? A kitten. Yeah, like that happened to me over the weekend with my girl's cat, right? He pooped in the corner somewhere, right?
Kitten.
So I grabbed him. I smushed his face in until his mom had to wipe it off later. My girl had to wipe his
this
face
guy
later.
just
and I
told
tossed
me
him in the litter.
You grab a kid. If he's being bad, you put his face into his poop. To teach him a lesson.
You're telling your son that?
Yeah, he's right there next to me.
Is that kid or kitten?
He said kid to me.
Kitten. A cat. But same thing with dogs too, but usually you do the dog outside or whatever, do his business or whatever. But it works, right?
Sound like animal cruelty to me.
I know.
Hey man, I'm talking about pony cruelty. So like it must be animal.
Oh, we grabbed the pony face.
Like
the pony face into the poop.
Yeah, man.
All right, we got this.
The pony shit face. There you go. I love it.
All right. Guys, I have an announcement. We got the goal of 6,666 subscribers, and I'm only about 20-something short. Push!
Sound like the devil to me.
That's right. That's right, baby. Woo. We need to push this channel to get to that goal of 6,666. Mm-hmm. It's a good number to stop at.
Know about that, man.
I don't know about that either. I do not co-sign this statement. I do not approve of this statement.
I'm at 6,641. So I'm only short by what? I don't know. 25? Yeah, 25. 25. That's all I need. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins, tell somebody, tell those kids you put their faces in their poop. Subscribe, like, and comment. Comment, like, and subscribe.
You know how to grow your channel, man? You got to come out here holding Xbox accountable. That's how you grow your channel.
No. I'll start.
You got to complain. You got to complain about Xbox. Brag about PlayStation. Take a dump on Xbox every now and then.
Yeah.
And then just chalk that up to holding Xbox accountable.
I used to do the alternative tech show. Where I'll be all pony, but my screen looked black and white. Is like the alternative.
I remember that. That was
so I would do the alternative one, and then I used to do the Sony can't do no wrong stuff. Like, oh, they can do anything, and I'll buy it.
You can go back to that. You need to go back to that.
I do need to. I need to do. And then my latest short also got a little attention a bit and picked up a few subscribers as well. So I need to do some more shorts.
Okay, folks, listen, one thing about Starfield, when you get access to the game and you're posting images and stuff, remember, particularly if you have early access, some of your fellow Xbox homies don't have access yet. So watch the content or the what's the word there? I
ain't worry about them. They should got early access.
Yeah.
Come on. No, seriously though.
Hey bro, that's how I handle Diablo 4.
I'm just saying. But when it comes to a pony, like I said, rub their faces in it. The fact that you got the game and you're playing, you're having fun, and they wish they had.
I'm asking for Fort Solis gameplay.
And don't forget, they wish they had this game. Remember, early on when we first heard about the game, because of Jason Schreier, he's the one who released the word of it, right, in the first place.
Yeah.
It was only because he heard that PlayStation was going to get the exclusivity up until Microsoft bought ZeniMax up from under that. Remember that. So all this crap they're talking, they know this game is hot. This game is looking dope. This is why they're upset that they didn't get review copies. Those in the press are ponies, or upset that they didn't review conference like we've been talking about. So rub it in their faces, but watch what it is you rub in your face, because you still got your fellow Xbox homies out there who may not have early access or whatever, and you don't want to spoil them. But you know what I'm saying.
So here's one comment.
That's a weird bunch, man. That's a weird bunch. I can't be happy unless you're unhappy.
So
like, go ahead, bro.
So I made that video the other day about that guy who's saying, you know, don't defend Starfield, blah 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 blah. And I just got a comment about an hour ago, so we're in the middle of the show here. It says, if it's so bad, then why care about it? I don't care. I don't get why they focus energy and drama and hate towards it. Go play No Man's Sky on the PlayStation if someone thinks it will be trash. So it's pretty much saying,
because they know it's not.
Pretty much
it's not trash.
Saying everybody is saying, it's like, if you don't like Starfield, just go play something else then. What are you wasting your energy and your attention to Starfield? Go do something else.
Cap for Spider-Man. What the hell? Your big
title's coming out. It's like
look
it's coming out next month.
Go do the same for Spider-Man. But oh wait, you already know the game is looking too hot, and it's just more of the same and too generic. You don't even have the whole freaking city. Okay, you come on, man. Like,
but the DLC will add an extra borough. There you go.
I'm sure for full price again too, for a full $70.
There
right?
You go.
Listen, man. Go play your games. We've got ours, and we've got a lot more coming. You say you have all these hot games and these supercomputers and whatnot. You could be playing Starfield too, right? Because the guys you look up to have been lying to you all along. They have Xboxes and they play it so much, they're getting the game for free early access off of rewards points.
That's
okay?
Right.
They're showing it off to your face, but you still cap for them. Meanwhile, they're laughing all the way to the bank with all the views and hits they're getting, right? Meanwhile, they're playing the game, but you sitting there capping for PlayStation. They're not buying these PlayStation games either. We see it in the sales.
Dang, Sick, man, you open my eyes, man.
Yeah.
You get this guy, Reforged Gaming, talking crap about Xbox every day.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants a review code.
Yes.
He said he doesn't like PC though. So what is he playing on?
I don't know.
That means he has an Xbox.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or
that's
his
crazy.
PC should be enough to play it. I mean, if he's doing a
his PC is enough, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird that these guys they're crying. You know, they've been saying that Microsoft can't be creative. They're just buying things, but it's like
Psygnosis.
Dude, play the game. Like if PlayStation's so great, go play it.
That's right.
But the fact of the matter is, they don't have enough to play or enough to talk about unless it's Xbox. Anyway, I'm gonna eat my burger. I'm done.
All right, guys. You guys have a good night.
Shout out to the chat.
Shout out to the chat room. Everybody that's in there. They came and went. Sick, thank you. Realist, thank you. Everybody, my son, thank you for just running out the door. You know you'll be in bed by now, punk. And then, yeah, we'll see you, I guess, after release.
Next week, Thursday, I guess.
Thursday, yeah.
We'll
I'll see you online.
talking about the game.
I'll see you playing, and then we're good. So, good night, everybody, and we're out of here.
Peace.